Welcome to Button Down Gaming. My name is Jay, and I am playing with myself. Well, here's the thing. It happened again. I'm an idiot, and not just because I hit those spikes and hit them again and hit them again. But because this is a voiceover track, I am not actually recording this audio live, and I died. Hooray! I figured this is probably a better solution than doing another speed through bonus thing. I guess I'll just take the extra time to talk over. So what happened is, again, even though nothing changed, the system decided it didn't want to capture audio from my mic. Last time it's because it's happened to us before, actually, and we needed to scrap episodes because we unplugged the mic, and when you plug it back in, it defaults to mute, which is really weird. So it wasn't actually capturing any audio. Oh, so here God, last chance. It was really close. I thought for sure I wasn't going to make it, and I needed to record it. You might notice also that I skipped a little bit here in the edit, traveling back here after I died, because that would have really sucked. I got a new Thorns of Agony. So if I get hit, I do damage to... I like grow spikes, thorns, and I do damage to other things. Now again, these are little pins that I can put back on, but I can only do that at benches, so it's not actually on me right now. Anyway, so this process wasted like 2 episodes. And so now I'm re-recording audio on 2 different episodes, so hooray for me. I don't know how lively this commentary is going to be, because honestly, it is very frustrating. That's actually the reason why it didn't go up yesterday. This should have gone up yesterday, and it didn't. And that's happened a lot lately, and God, I just missed that. It's honestly very frustrating, but there's always something going on. Whether that's... most of the time, that's the computer freaking out. And it just decides it doesn't want to start up. And previously it was fixed by taking it out of a surge protector which it was plugged into. Apparently that's not a good idea. I've never had that issue before on any of my computers, but apparently you want a direct line of power. So I plugged it into the wall, and it started working again. Started powering up again. And it's a chore when this thing powers up. Because for whatever reason, when it's booting, it just locks during the boot process. And so I need to manually be there hitting buttons and not knowing if they register until a minute later when it finally decides to finish the boot process and go where I want it to go. So just restarting this computer is a huge pain in the ass, which means it often stays on a lot of the time. And that's not good for it. All these processes get backed up and ends up eating a lot of the processing power and RAM. And so it does really need to be restarted every once in a while. So sometimes it just decides it doesn't want to turn back on, which it did the other time. After it's already been plugged into the wall, it just decided it didn't want to turn on anymore. And I needed to hope and pray that if I waited long enough, it would. I don't know if it's overheating or what, but it doesn't give me any sort of indication in the BIOS that the processor's too hot or anything like that. Anyway, enough with that boring commentary. So, effectively, a lot of the other boring commentary, the original boring commentary that I did for this, was completely gone. So that's it's really frustrating. So what I did is I decided I wanted to take the editing processes off of this computer, and it would just be the gaming computer. And surprisingly enough, I ordered a laptop. And it's a video editing laptop, so it's pretty powerful, but it doesn't have anything that I don't necessarily need. It doesn't, like, it's not VR ready or anything like that, but it's still a pretty powerful laptop. So it'll be able to hopefully process these faster, I won't have to go to the game room, which is where we record everything. It's where recording setup is. To work on this stuff, I can work on it in areas I'm a little bit more comfortable. So I'll probably be more prone to work on little projects if I can do other things at the same time. I'm very weird like that, multitasking. I'm kind of always multitasking. Listening to podcasts or audiobooks or anything else like that while I'm doing other things. Watching a TV show while reading Twitter, or constantly multitasking, because honestly, this is truth time here. I have a lot of trouble focusing on things. Which is why it's really, really important to me to always get these episodes up. And it really bothers me that I'm behind a lot. I haven't completely given up on any days, but there have been days where 1 or 2 days where I have to upload a backlog for those days that I missed. But I still do all that work. I'm honestly very proud of myself for that, because it's something I have to work on every day. I don't take any medication for that. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but I wouldn't be surprised to find out if I have ADD or something like that. Adult ADD. I'm not hyperactive most of the time, so I doubt it's ADHD. But yeah, really, really do have a problem focusing, which is why, again, I'm proud of the fact that for going on a 1.5 years now, we've put up an episode for every single day, plus one, actually. So theoretically, I could just miss a day and I'd have a great excuse, because last year we put up one more episode than there were days when I did the first playing with myself for Stardew Valley. So that was just an extra test episode, but I put it up anyway. So I have an excuse to miss a day, and I'm not going to take that excuse. I'm going to continue. Maybe I'll use that excuse some other time. I don't know. I can't remember if I'm just remember playing this originally, or if you guys have seen this before. Yes, you have, because last time I went down there with those guys. I like these enemies, but after this point, I end up just passing them by, because it just takes too long. I know I need those grandma's brooches, dog, but I think time is worth grandma's brooches, which is a little problem I have with this game. It takes a lot of time to get everything, to get enough grandma's brooches to buy stuff. I'm seriously behind in the purchasing area, but you know, hopefully that's how it's designed to be. But being able to see all that stuff in the shop and not buy it right now, know I'm gonna have to buy it piecemeal, it's a little discouraging. So this is a neat new area. This area, whew, it's tough. It's gonna get a name here, I think, right? Fog Canyon. You get a lot of electrical enemies, a lot of electrical jellyfish. That guy is a son of a bitch. Look, he just took away 2 health for that one hit. And I'll explain to you exactly why it's even worse. I might get to that area in this episode, but I don't know. We shall see. But hear that humming? Oh, son of a bitch. That humming is the map maker, and I have no idea where he is. So I learn a lesson here, right? Boom! Dead. Because it took away 2 health, and then I fell in the pit, and then the first time it hit me 2 health, that's all 5 health right there. Yeah, those guys hit really, really hard. And so I've found that until I get good at dancing around their attacks, predicting where they're going to hit. Whew! Almost got hit there. See, I just passed those guys up, which is what I'm going to have to do with the large jellyfish. It is better to not hit them. So you'll see that in a minute here. Oh, you know what I can talk about? I listen to some podcasts, one of which is the Laser Time network of podcasts. A lot of pop culture stuff. Just a bunch of gamer-type dudes. Really, really, really enjoyable. I commented on their Patreon only, on their Patreon only podcast feed. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I'm going to need to get over this guy and kill my shadow. Woo! Okay, cool. And nowhere to go. That's another traversal ability that I need. I remember talking about this. I need to get through that gunk. I need double jump. Coming up in a little bit, you'll see why I need a wall jump. Yeah, there's a lot of traversal abilities I'm still lacking in areas I've come across that need them. So it's going to be interesting trying to find my way back. Anyway, the Laser Time bonus time for Patreon members only. They ask a question of the day, kind of like we do, or a question of the week, because it comes out weekly. And it was your greatest Scar story. So I could tell my Scar story. I think I will do that on the next episode, because I only have like a minute and a half. You know what? I'll tell it here. We have enough time. It got read on the actual podcast, which is cool. So it's the first time I've ever commented on a question of the week. And it actually got read on the podcast. And Dave Rudden, the guy who read my story, he actually pronounced my name right. So that was really cool. Anyway, I was like 6 or 7. I think I was 6. And I was at my great aunt's house for a big family get-together. All the kids were playing outside. And I ran inside to get a toy, which was this purple plastic dinosaur. It was actually a bath toy. I didn't get to that in my story for the podcast. And just giant plastic hollow floating dinosaur. Ouch! And I go inside and get this, and I'm really excited to take it outside because I really love this bath toy. God, I might have even been 5. I was probably 6. And I was really, really excited to get outside with this purple dinosaur outside where all the kids are playing. So to hear the rest of this story, you are going to need to come back and, next time I'm Button Down Gaming and watch me play with myself. Bye.